today I'm going to talk to you about our birth plan. I haven't really talked too much about it, where we're going to have the baby, and just our plan, so it'll be fun to finally talk about that. So first I'm going to talk to you about our birth center plan. This is if everything went according to plan, our ideal birth, where we're having our appointments at the moment, and kind of how we envision things going. I do have a backup plan in case of an emergency that I also will be talking about. So we are having the baby at a birth center, and it's not a birth center that is connected to a hospital or affiliated with a hospital. It's a freestanding birth center. It's ran by midwives and their assistants. There are no doctors on staff at all. So it is very similar to kind of a home birth in the way that there's not the option for Pitocin or epidural or any other kind of medications. The rooms are all set up to feel very homey. You really couldn't even tell that it was a medical facility at all. The bedrooms look like a bedroom you'd see in a house. But there just happens to be a big bathtub there in the room. So they're really beautiful rooms. They have these big birthing tubs. They have couches for, people who are maybe going to be in the room with you, or for, your husband to sit down, or even you to sit down on if you'd like. So I really like the atmosphere of the birth center. We do plan on having a water birth. Obviously, when push comes to shove, if I don't feel like getting in the tub, or I'm in a comfortable position squatting in the corner or laying on the bed, then that's where I'll have the baby. But the plan is to do a water birth. I really like the idea of just that gentle entry into the world, from womb water to bath water onto mommy's chest. I just think that's a really gentle way to introduce my baby into the world. As far as, different things we're going to do during labor and right after birth, I do plan on laboring at home for as long as possible. That's kind of the standard of care at the birth center anyways. You just really stay at home as long as possible. And once they think it's time for you to come in, you go in and they meet you there. And after you have the baby, you're there for about 4 hours and then you go home. So as long as you're okay, baby's okay, and baby's eating, then they kind of send you on your way. As far as kind of routine newborn care, something that's really important to me that I've read a lot about is like that first hour. So that first hour after the baby is born, he will be on my chest and he won't be moving unless there's obviously a medical emergency. Even hospitals are kind of adopting this philosophy now. They call it kangaroo care, where the baby stays on you. They can still do, the different tests and screenings that they have to do immediately following birth with the baby kind of on your chest. As far as, weighing the baby and measuring the baby, those things can all wait. He's not going to change in a matter of an hour. So those kinds of things just aren't super important to do the moment he's born. I think it's more important to have that bond and that connection, and to establish, breastfeeding and different things like that. We are going to do delayed cord clamping. I'm not exactly sure how long we'll delay the cord clamping. I would like to actually birth the placenta before we cut the cord, actually, because one of the pictures that I really want to get is of the baby laying next to the placenta, still attached outside the womb. I actually think that'd be a really cool picture to have, and maybe that sounds kind of gross to some people, but I think it'd be really cool to have, just a cool memory to show, like, this is what supported my baby's life inside of me, and now here he is on the outside, still attached in those first few moments, after being brought into the world. So I think after we get that picture, so probably around an hour, hour and a half, is when we'd probably cut the cord and detach him from his placenta, which he seems to really love, because we have an ultrasound picture of him like all snuggled up into the placenta, which I think is absolutely adorable. Other routine things they do at birth are obviously like the eye ointment to help protect against any sort of bacteria that they could encounter, and also the vitamin K shot. Those are two things that at the moment at least we have decided not to do. I do not have an STD. I do not have any risk factors for my baby getting any sort of, eye infection. So I don't see the necessity of getting that eye ointment. And then as well as a vitamin K shot, I guess I'm just choosing to believe that babies are born with the amount of vitamin K they're supposed to have. And maybe if vitamin K is lower than it seems like it should be, there is a reason for it. I just don't like the idea of putting all these chemicals on or in my baby when he's so new and his immune system is so new. And I just think that he'll get everything he needs from me and from the breast milk. Things to help boost his vitamin K levels naturally. I am going to be supplementing with vitamin K during my 3rd trimester to make sure that I am not deficient in vitamin K, and in hopes that the baby will get as much as he needs. So as of right now, those are the things that we're choosing to decline. Obviously, you guys do your own research and you make your own choices that are good for your family. I'm in no way saying that is the right choice for you. That's just the right choice for us. Also, the hepatitis B vaccine that they give at birth. At the birth center that we're having the baby, they don't give vaccinations. So that's not even an option for us. We can go into a regular doctor and have that done like the next day or something. But that also is a vaccine that we're choosing not to get, at least at that moment. Again, he doesn't really have any chance of contracting hepatitis B. I don't have anything that could give him hepatitis B, so I don't think it's very necessary, at least at that time. So that's kind of our birth plan of what we want to happen. An all-natural water birth at a birthing center where the baby stays right next to me and we go home within 4 hours. Obviously, emergencies happen, things change, and I want to be mentally prepared. And I want to be somewhat mentally prepared for those things. So I have created a birth plan that I will have typed out and bring with me in case the situation arises where I decide I want to go to the hospital, but I need Pitocin or I need pain medication, or there's a bigger emergency where I need a C-section. The birth center that we are having the baby at is close to a hospital, so if there was an emergency, we could be there, within minutes, which is reassuring. Certain things that I want to happen if I do have to go to the hospital to have the baby. If I end up having a vaginal birth in the hospital, I still want that immediate skin-to-skin contact, the baby placed on my chest. I still want to do delayed cord clamping. I know that I probably won't be able to do it as delayed as in the birth center, but at least 10 minutes would be great. I also, again, want to do that kangaroo care where they do any necessary tests with the baby on me. Of course, if it's life-threatening, I will allow them to do whatever they need to do to save my baby's life. But if it's not a life-threatening, test or thing that they need to do, I don't want them taking my baby from me. As well as I don't want them to offer the baby formula or give him a bath or, anything else that we haven't consented to. Take him to the nursery, take him into a different room. I want either me or my husband to be with him at all times. And if there's something they need to do, then they need to allow at least my husband to be there if I'm not physically able to go. If for some reason I need a C-section, then ideally I would not be put under. I would still be able to at least touch my baby or have my baby placed on my chest once he's born. I would like to still delay the cord clamping for at least a minute and have him put on my chest. And then once You know, they have to stitch me up and take me into recovery. The babies stay with my husband at all times and not be taken to the nursery or, you know, given any of the things that we have not consented for. And then once I'm in recovery and I can make, you know, decisions, then I can kind of decide what kinds of things I want done. Again, obviously, if I'm going in for a C-section, it's probably an emergency and they might need to do things to the baby to help save his life. And again, I'm completely okay with anything that's a life or death situation that they need to do. But as far as if the baby's healthy, you know, what my ideal situation would be. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the birth and, you know, our plan. We're definitely going in it with confidence. I really think that that has a lot to do with the outcome of the birth. I'm just kind of telling myself that I can do this. My body was made for this. I can have this baby naturally. It's going to be wonderful and it's going to be hard, but it's going to be so rewarding. And I just really feel like that's the best choice for us. And I'm actually really excited that, like, I'm sure in the moment I'm going to be like, I can't believe I was excited for this. This hurts so bad. But right now I'm excited. I'm excited to know what a contraction feels like. I'm excited to know what pushing feels like. I'm excited for that moment when the baby, like, comes out and, like, I see him for the first time. And just even thinking about that moment, I, like, almost cried just because I know that's going to be one of the moments that I remember for the rest of my life. So, yeah, I use the word excited because I just don't know what other word to use. I'm thrilled. I'm speechless. I'm just, you know, honored even in a way. Like, I somehow got so lucky that I get to be this baby's mom. And I don't take that blessing lightly. And I just want to do everything I can to protect him and to keep him healthy. So there you have it. That's our birth plan. If you have any questions, let me know. Be happy to answer them. I think I covered everything, but if not, just ask me. So I will see you in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you later.